Hey guys, this is the Lamb's Wolf coming to you with another one and another one. Oh my gosh, DJ Kelly, copyright that. But I just want to say I hope everyone is having a good week. And I hope all your experiences have been positive. I just want this topic that we're going to talk about on this segment is very interesting. I haven't really formulated it yet, but I say why not? Let me give it a shout out, and if anything, I could do a revision because it just has so much information on this topic. So you're like, Lamb, what are you talking about? Reality versus the dream. Now, so many this reality versus the dream can be applied to almost every single thing in life, right? It's very open topic. You can apply it to everything. Reality versus the dream is everybody dreams big. Everybody has dreams, whether or not it be a dream of a family, whether or not it be a dream of a career, whether or not it be a dream of, I don't know, like just generally how things will just work out, right? And this kind of plays off my other videos where I've said that we do not own the outcome and how things work, but we can dream, right? Like a lot of people dream of love and relationships and how things are supposed to work out based on influences from Disney, based on influences from romantic novels, based on this fairy tale ending, and it's just not real. Yes, human beings have pushed the figments of their imagination with creating in general, right? Somebody had to have a dream of crazy architecture in order to have these buildings and skyscrapers and some of the things we see all over the world, these statues and some of these Great Lakes and not the Great Lakes, but Great Lakes, or fountains, or some of these wonderful, beautiful places that we see that have been carved out and man-made for other people's beauty to take part of. Human beings have an imagination, and through their imagination, they create real things, right? Now, the problem sometimes comes in is that whatever you dreamt, right, doesn't work out in reality. It doesn't work out practically. You know what I mean? Some of these people that have but guess what? That is what life is. That is what life is, right? So it might seem that when they put together the skyscrapers and when they put together all these wonderful amusement parks and all these different things, that when it came, that was it. Like, but you didn't see in the background the different teams over various years of doing prototypes, test runs, and all the hard work that was involved with creating these things. Let's not even talk about modern humanity, right? Let's talk about ancient humanity. Whereas look at the Sphinx, look at the pyramids. These are all things that were in the imagination of someone and became actual realities. But people tend to forget when they look at these unique statues and buildings and things of beauty is all the hard work and devastation that was done in order to create this one thing. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, it stands the test of time, and it's going to, but for every single thing, there is the dream, the romanticized version of what you created in your head, and then it's reality. Especially with relationships, guys, give me a break with the relationships, okay? Look how, give me a break. Like, Disney doesn't even exist, okay? Disney doesn't exist. There's no happily ever after. You get married, Cinderella marries the prince, right? They don't show how the prince farts in his sleep, and Cinderella, has to shave her hair or use, I'm going on. I'm really getting into the crux of the matter, but like, it doesn't show you the reality. You know what I mean? And to be honest, you want, in whatever the reality, whatever your dream is, just dream practical. A romanticized version in your head is great, but it's foolish, one, to stick in that romanticized lifestyle in your head and think that's going to be reality, because people are real, and people have real needs, and whatever you're dreaming of in your head might not be realistic and practical, number one, to your circumstance, to your lifestyle, or to the reality that it's created. So guys, when you have a dream, right? I don't want to sit here and tell anybody don't dream. What I'm telling you is that if you have a dream, whether it be relationship, whether it be career, whether it be a project, whether it be a business, I don't know, whatever you want to do, you can always make it a reality by creating a strategy. Create a strategy that would implement. If you're dealing with a thing, create a strategy where it's practical and it can be implemented in your life, right? And you have to be, this is where honesty comes in and truth, because you have to be honest about your day-to-day in order for things to fit in your life, right? So the same thing goes for the reality of a relationship. A lot of people like the idea, this one I got actually from my sister, whereas the idea of an alpha male, right? A lot of women like the idea of an alpha male, right? Whereas this particular man, an alpha male, is driven, career driven, very outgoing, basically career oriented, family oriented, basically hits all his notches, right? But with that we was discussing whether or not this person is romantic enough. You know what I mean? Is this, with all the stuff that he's accomplishing in his life, does he have enough time for you? You know what I mean? Now, for some women, that would be yes. You know what I mean? But a lot of women, that would be no. You know what I mean? Not everybody's suited for an alpha male. I'll give you, for instance, what an alpha male is. Like a Jeff Bezos. This is an alpha male. Warren Buffett, alpha male. Like, the career comes first. They like to get ahead. They're very innovative. Basically, if they care about you, they're gonna make time for you, but they don't have all the time in the world. Meaning like you can't just be like, pop up out of nowhere and pull them out of a meeting and think that, oh, hey honey, I have the time to just pull you out of a meeting. Like, the things that they do actually influence other people's lives. You know what I mean? So you as a woman have to really think, it's great to want that type of guy, but does that type of guy, is that guy gonna fit into my life? You know what I mean? A lot of men that are alpha males and they are career driven, they want women that are very dependent on them and there when they're ready and have them and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, you want a woman that's ready for you and that's available for you and all this stuff, but what can you identify with her on? Can you have a really good conversation with her? What about not saying that it can't happen, because it does happen every day, but what about your relationship with this woman will show the test of time. You know what I mean? Like, the things that show the test of time in relationships is you being a friend to that person, you having an open level of communication, and you being mentally sound. What do I mean by that in this case, in this context? What I mean by that is that when I speak, you understand what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be formal education, but it has to be level of comprehension. Like, how can I have a wife, or how can I have a husband that is not at my level of mental capacity? If I read an article and I want to share the article with my spouse or my boyfriend, why? If he doesn't understand even the concept of what I'm talking about, or it's almost like talking in a different language. You know what I mean? And sometimes talking in a different language, people get along too. There are marriages like that as well. But 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have longevity. You guys, like, make sure that who you're choosing, you have longevity mentally. You have that mental and intellectual connection that is actually going to be real. It's great. A pretty face is fantastic. A hot body with abs is fantastic. A guy that has a lot of money is fantastic. But is he tolerable throughout the years? You know, that stuff goes dry, and what happens is that it leads to deviant behaviors within a relationship, because if your partner is not satiating, giving you what you need, whether it be mentally, spiritually, morally, intellectually, you're a human being, and you're gonna still have that want and that need, and you're gonna seek it out in different people. All right. So, like, that dream isn't that dream anymore. It's a freaking reality of a nightmare, right? So, guys, girls, women, men, hello. Guys, be real with yourself, please. This is why I focus on self-love so much. You know what I mean? And people are like, oh, Lam, you're telling me to be selfish. I'm not telling you to be selfish. What I'm telling you is get to know you. Get to know who you are. Get to know what you like, what you don't like, what's best for you, what makes you laugh, what makes you cry, outside of everybody else. You know what I mean? Outside of everybody else, what makes you tick? What makes you, what's your interest? You know what I mean? Not the interests of your friends, not the interests of because friends, you and your friends have commonalities which kind of bond you together, but you and your friends are not identical. Each person has a different things about themselves that, make them tick, and it's important that you underline what that is in you, so then you can know what to look for and shape your dream into a reality that will be long lasting. Okay. And that goes for not just a relationship of man and woman. I don't want to always like focus on like, oh, I want to have a romance and I want to get married and all this stuff. Like, that could also be like in a company culture is huge. Like, if you are a type of person that are very family oriented and stuff like that, and you need a specific type of company and a certain type of company culture that's gonna honor your values. You know what I mean? And you need to understand, like, you can't, like, some people, they're like, oh, I can go to any company. Can you? Because I've been part of companies that are very, the colleagues are very young, high competitive attitude. Nobody works together. Everybody seems, even if you're on your same team, everybody's trying to show each other off. Like, that's cool when I was younger. Like, I have the stamina to deal with that. But I'm not old, but I'm not at the level where I can tolerate that type of stamina anymore. You know what I mean? Like I want to reserve that stamina that I have for things that really, really matter to me, not for just going to work and being stressed out. You know what I mean? Like, who wants that? Well, some people do want that. If you have certain goals and you want to have certain aspirations, you deal with it. But like at this point, like that wasn't good for me, so I had to switch companies, right? So like company culture is a big thing, and you need to be able to go to work. And you know what? Work is not your home. You're not going to be 100% comfortable, but give me 85%. All right? I have to be there for 8 hours a day. I should at least be 85% to 90% comfortable working at work and being around specific people at work. All right? I just want to say that. Okay? So once again, let me recap. My recap for reality and dream, which I'm sure I'll revisit, is dream big, dream huge, dream like you've never dreamt before. Dream of the person of your dreams. Write down everything. Some people do manifestation journals. Some people do manifestation boards. I myself have a manifestation board. And dream big. Dream of all the things that you want: the house, the car, the career, everything that you want. Put it together and dream big, but create a realistic strategy that will make your dream a practical reality. All right? Please, please, please create a strategy that will make your dream a practical reality. How do you do this? Self-love, self-care. Get to know who you are. Love yourself. Be with yourself. Walk with yourself. Understand who you are outside of your friends, outside of your family. Because guess what? When all the lights and action are over, you're going to be with that job. You're going to have to put up with that job by yourself. You're going to have to be with that person you have chosen by yourself. And you have to understand, do I like me? Do I like who I am with this person? Do I like who I am at this job? Do I like how this job is shaping me? You know what I mean? Because everything has an effect on who you are and how you are and your growth, okay? So a lot of people, sometimes they can bear it. Sometimes they can bear dealing with a toxic environment consistently, and others cannot, okay? So it's just up to you, okay? But please. So let me pull my cards. Of course, Spirit Junkie. That's the junk that I'm on right now. Spirit Junkie. Okay. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I aligned in the moment. Ooh wee. This is a nice one. I like this one. This is from Super Attractor. I'm sorry, I said Spirit Junkie. I usually use Spirit Junkie. But Gabrielle Bernstein, Super Attractor. Okay, she should pay me by now, but we'll not talk about that. Instead of worrying, about the future, I know all is well when I'm aligned in the moment. This raises such an interesting, let me put this in front, sorry about that. Now this raises a very interesting topic of being present. Oh my God. And guys, if you haven't, like, this is just like a suggestion that, if you haven't read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, he should pay me too for this endorsement, but please get it, okay? Because many times anybody, work, relationship, whatever, they're in the moment where they're here, but their mind is not here, right? So therefore, they can't really absorb what's going on in that moment 100%. You know what I mean? So if you can be in the moment 100%, that means you can respond to it and not have delayed reactions. What happens when you have delayed reactions to things that you don't absorb in the moment, and you're not here and you're not present? What happens is you live with a lot of regret. You're like, you know what, I should have done that. You know what, if you was present in that moment and absorbing what was going on fully, maybe you could have responded in the manner in which you was appropriate, or in the manner in which you thought of later, but you wasn't even here, you know? And that happens across the board, okay? Next card. The universe powerfully responds the instant I align myself with love. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Beautiful. Align myself with love, okay? Love for the creator, the divine, and love for oneself, okay? When I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally. Support will surround me, and the movements will form. Now, guys, I want to make this clear, right? When I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally. Support will surround me, and movements will form. Now, this does not mean go YOLO and go jump off like, I don't know, oh, I have to spend my money on to be happy. And no, that does not mean that. Joy and happiness doesn't necessarily mean spending your money to go on vacation. Joy and happiness does not mean spending your money for a crazy, you know, I don't know, voyage or experience. You know what that means? That means happiness within yourself, okay? And sometimes you need to be quiet, shut up, say not now, and be by yourself in order to actually feel joy within yourself. You know, sometimes joy is just like, oh my God, I'm gonna have quiet and peace today. Joy means, you know, oh my God, all my bills are paid. You know, joy means different things to different people. But what I'm telling you is that people spend a lot of money to go on different vacations and things like that. And they usually are miserable because they're practicing escapism rather than being honest with the things that they need to be honest with, going through it and dealing with it, you know? And once those things are dealt with, whatever they might be, then the joy can go ahead and seep through. Oh my God, and here comes the next one. I can't stand myself sometimes. I heal the habit of fear and embrace the habit of love. Next card. Guys, please, please, please listen, okay? This is like stupid, okay? Not literally stupid, but I'm just saying. A lot of people go on vacations, go on these extravagant, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that. But if you're not in the right place at the right time and you're not healed, then you can't even enjoy the things that you're spending your money on, right? So then what's the point? You're not in a healed place. You're trying to escape the issues. What did I just say? Escape the issues that you have. And guess what? You don't, because you can't escape yourself. You can only create, the only thing you can do is ask for help to create solutions. Once you create the solutions, implement them, okay? And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of dealing with whatever you have to deal with, because it's your life. And you need to seek out your own happiness, not the happiness of your parents, not the happiness of your, I don't know, your A lot of people are in relationships, right? Or in marriages, and they do things, they sacrifice so much for the marriage. And the thing is that I understand like being compromising for a marriage or a relationship, but at the same time, if I have to sacrifice so much and I can't, if I'm not happy, then why am I in this? Isn't the whole reason for a relationship or a marriage is to give support for you to be happy and create a family, right? So then, if it's so unhappy being in this family, it's so unhappy being in this marriage, why are you in it? Don't be afraid to admit that you are not happy with things. Don't be afraid to say, I'm not happy at this job. I hate this job. I want another job. No matter how long you've been there. You know what? You can get another job. It's not the end of the world. And yeah, you're like, Lamb, you make it sound so simple. It is. It is that simple. Once you break the emotional tie that you have to something and detach and look at it for what it actually is tangibly, then you could change whatever you want in this world. Now, I'm not saying everyone go get divorced. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is that be real with yourself on why you're doing things and what your motives are and your intent, okay? Now, make the dream your reality. If the dream has become a nightmare and it's not serving its purpose, which intrinsically, all these things are created to make you happy, right? A marriage and relationship is created to make you happy and to make another generation, right? And to make wealth. A relationship is, you're in a relationship in order to get to know someone, in order to get to that next step of marriage, of love, care, and building a home. And all these things is part of love and happiness. You know what I mean? If it's only there to build wealth, then it's like, okay, but even with the money, I'm still not happy. So what was the point? Okay? Really examine your intent. Okay? What's the intent of your dream? What's the intent of me creating this strategy in order to make my dreams a reality? Isn't the intent for me to be happy? Some people it's not. Some people the intent is that they're listening to their parents. Sometimes their intent is they're listening to their community. Sometimes it's like, oh, my community says socially, it's a social pressure. My community says that I have to have this, so I did it because I have to have it. But then, guess what? When you go to sleep at night, you alone have to deal with your own self. When you close your door and you're in that house by yourself, or apartment or condo, you're there by yourself with your thoughts and with the issues that you have created because you listen to other people and you allow these people to tell you what will make you happy. But it doesn't come from other people. It does not come from society. It does not come from your parents. It comes from who you are, okay? Get to know who you are. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I can't even stand myself. Look, the next one. My greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force. They come through freedom. Wow. Wow. Divine, are you speaking or what? The greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force. They come through freedom. Let me tell you something. Your dreams will come true, not through the force of society, not through the force of friends, not through the force of family, not the force of community. Did I say that already? Or religion. Your greatest spiritual shift will come through freedom. Aligning yourself with the divine, knowing who you are, and figuring out, allowing the divine to download dreams within you that will allow you to make it a reality, okay? Figure out who you are. And once you do the work, the dream will come. Okay? Guys, I can't focus on that enough. Okay? Once you do the work, the dream will come. Okay? Some people think spirituality is not freedom, but it is. Okay? It's the freedom to live your life within you and who you are. Okay? Boy, oh boy. Now, it's the Lamb's Wolf signing off.